Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar on analyzing the numbers. In the ever-evolving healthcare landscape, mastering financial reports is pivotal in steering your medical practice towards success. Prognosis Advanced Billing System provides powerful billing reports that can offer valuable insights into your practice's financial success and optimize your financial performance. As we delve into the session, we'll unpack the multifaceted dimensions of Prognosis billing reports. Together, we'll appreciate their value and discover strategies to harness their full potential, ensuring optimal revenue management. A gentle reminder for all attendees, kindly mute your microphones to maintain a conducive environment for learning. Rest assured, there will be an opportunity for all your questions during the Q&A segment after our presentation. Please note we have provided a complimentary ebook for deeper insights in the handout section. And now, without further ado, I'd like to hand it over to our esteemed subject matter expert, Julia Young.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Analyzing the Numbers, the impact of billing reports on your financial success. Our agenda for today is number 1, exploring essential billing reports. Number 2, understanding the report customization and filters. Number 3, analyzing our billing reports for optimization. And 4, tips and best practices to utilize effective utilization. We're going to start out with exploring essential billing reports. We have an interesting fact, so Cheyenne, you want to share that?
Yeah, so let's take a journey back in time. In the late 20th century, most medical billing was done on paper. It wasn't until the introduction of HIPAA in 1996, a mandated shift to electronic billing took place. The shift was game-changing. It sped up billing processes, reduced errors, cut costs, and made claim tracking much more efficient. By understanding this evolution, practices can better appreciate the role of modern billing software. Back to you, Julie.
Thank you. And we're going to start out with aging reports. Aging reports are customized and categorized as outstanding accounts receivable based on the age of the balance. So 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days. The billers can monitor the overdue payments, prioritize collection efforts, and assess cash flow. In order to run an aging report, you're going to go to Reports, and then Aging. From there, you're going to select the type of aging report you'd like. We have 5 different types of aging reports in Prognosis. We have patient, insurance, employer, TPA, and collection agency. You want to complete your parameters. Now, these parameters could be different based on the type of report that you have selected. You can run your report in the background. If you choose to run it in the background, it will send you a message to let you know when your report is ready, and you can go to the download files to print out your report. Otherwise, you're going to use the print button to print your report. Now, there's one special button here that's called Aging Slots. If you click the Aging Slots button, you'll get a screen that looks like this, and it allows you to hide certain columns of your aging report. So if you don't need to see the first 30 days, you can hide the first 30 days. Or maybe you want to focus on 121 plus, you can hide all the other fields and just get your 121 plus fields. Another type of aging report is our outstanding report. The outstanding report has valuable information in that it can give you visibility of unpaid, all unpaid balances, both patient and insurance company. It helps you to prioritize your work, so you can work the oldest to the newest, and also identifies payment trends. So if you notice that certain patients or certain payers are consistently paying late, you can identify that with this report. Another great feature about this report is that it is a workable report, so you can manage your collections right from this screen. If you go over here to the first column, get my cursor in the right place, the first column is hyperlinks that will show you, take you back to the claim. And over here under this column, it will show you the payments. So if you click on here, you can get back to the remit. Now you can manage these columns and see what you need to see in these columns by hitting this Manage Column button, and you can have the fields that you would like to see in the columns. You can sort by any one of the columns here. So if you put the AR aging days on as one of your fields here, you can sort by that and have your oldest on top and your newest on the bottom. You can work multiple claims by hitting this button here and checking off multiple claims and hitting the assign hand or resending the claims, multiple claims at a time. Another section of reports is the claims submission reports. So under claims submission, we have a railroad track, and you'll see this railroad track on different screens like the claims screen, remittance screen, outstanding or patient account. Anywhere you see this railroad track, you can access this report. Now this report is beneficial in that it shows you the process of your claim. So when you first bill out your claim, you'll know, did you bill it out paper or EDI? If you build it out EDI, it'll tell you which insurance company you billed it out to. It'll tell you when the insurance clearinghouse received your claim, when the insurance company received your claim, when the remittance was sent, if you send it to a secondary, if you rebuild it, all that information is captured in the claim status report. So you can always see where your claim is at in the process. And then if something is lagging, you can follow up. Claims billing report is another great report. It shows you all of the claims that have been billed for a particular period. So you can do it for a day, or you can do it for a month or a quarter or a year, however you want to do it. To get to this report, you're going to go to Reports Billing, by Claims right here, and then select Claims Billed. You can enter the date range you want and then click Go. You can sort this report by payers, locations, charge codes, whatever you need. And then Claims Reimbursement Report shows you the payments that have come in on the particular claims that you billed out. So as your claims are getting paid, payments coming in, it'll show the payments that have come in and the write-offs that you've done. So to get to this report, you're going to go to Reports, Billing. You're going to go by Claims, and then you're going to select the Claims Reimbursement Report, and then choose the date range you want and hit OK. Now, Claims Summary Report, Charge Summary Report. This is a very valuable report because it gives you an overview of all the charges that you've billed for a particular period. It'll give you the charge code and the description, as well as how many times you billed that charge code and how much money that charge code has produced for you. So it gives you a good overview of the services that you're doing and how often you're doing them, or how many you're doing, where your biggest revenue is coming from. So in order to run this report, you're going to go to Reports, Billing, by Charges, and then choose the Charge Summary Report, and then put in the date range you want and click Go. The Daily Collection Report is crucial for matching up your deposits for every day, or you can do it for a week or whatever period you want. But the Daily Collection Report will give you totals by cash, check, credit card, or electronic funds transfer, so you know how much of each column you should have, and then the total of your total intake or collection for that day or that period. In order to get to this report, you're going to go to Reports, Collection, by Voucher, and then Daily Collection Report, enter the date range you're looking for, and hit Go. The Summary Report, this is a comprehensive report that provides you a complete overview of all your claims submitted, all your reimbursements, whether they came from insurance company, patient, or a third party. It also shows refunds, adjustments. It shows non-prognosis payments. But the nice thing about this report, you can actually print this out or put it to an Excel spreadsheet. You have all your totals. But the nicest thing about this report is you can click on the hyperlink and get the details of what makes up this number. So to get to this report, you're going to go to Reports and Summary. You're going to fill out the filters, and then you're going to click OK. And then you're going to get a report like this. When you click on the hyperlink, the report tells you exactly what makes up that number. So it's going to tell you every insurance company, claim, visit, patient, location, business unit, rendering doctor, insurance amount, patient amount, and the total billed amount. So It's a very detailed report, and you can know every single penny where that came from. The next report that we need to talk about is the unprocessed claims report. The unprocessed claims report is real-time tracking every claim that has not yet been billed. To get to this report, you're going to go to Claims and Unprocessed. This is a workable report, so you can print it out or put it in an Excel spreadsheet if you wanted, but it's a workable report so that you can actually work your claims from here. And as you're working them and you're sending them out, the number gets reduced because it's dropping off of this report. So everything you need to work your report, you have here and across here, and you can get your claims out the door. The distribution report is a report that displays how much money has come in for each individual provider over a particular period. Now, you can filter this report to be by location or business unit, by individual providers, rendering providers, or attending providers, but it's going to show you all the money that has come in for each individual provider. It also can be put to an Excel spreadsheet or printed out. To get to this report, you're going to go to Reports and Distribution. The denial report, this is a very valuable report for multiple reasons. The denial report will show you every claim that has been denied. So all your denied claims will be together. You can identify the reasons why they were denied. You can track all your appeals and resubmissions from this report, but you can also identify any patterns such as specific services that are being denied, or procedures, insurance carriers that are denying most of the claims, that kind of thing. And then you could also create process improvements based on this denial report. The denial report is also a report, this is the actual printout, but the denial report section is also a workable section, so you can work all your denials right in that denial report section. To get there, you're going to go to AR follow-up and denied. The disputed claims or underpaid claims report. This is also a workable report, so you can work it right from there. All claims that have actually been underpaid or not paid according to what you expected from the insurance company or what you contracted for, you can find on this report. So it helps you to recover lost revenue. It helps in identifying billing accuracies. So maybe if they're the billing does not match the contracted amount, then, or the actual amount that you received, then you can identify those. You can also identify any trends or underpayments by specific codes or providers or procedures. So if there's a trend where a certain procedure code is not getting paid accordingly, you can identify these things. You can also appeal from this screen. You can track all your appeals and resubmissions. And then also identifying billing processes. So you might notice that certain things are being coded incorrectly or something like that. So you can identify and make improvements that way. To get to this report, you're going to go to AR follow-up and just disputed. We're going to talk about some revenue analysis reports now. So financial analysis report is a very detailed report. It helps with making financial decisions in your medical practice and seeing the health of your medical practice. It also helps the administrators and decision makers to make informed decisions based on operations of this report. This report, the financial analysis report, you can get to by going to Reports, Management, Analysts, and then choosing the financial analysis report. This one is going to show you all the billing for a period, payments, patient receipts, adjustments, patient write-offs, discounts, co-pays, and anything that was moved to collection agency for whatever period that you put in. So if you come up here and you selected financial analysis report, And in the period, you put this year, and over here where it says month to date, or totals by year to month, it will give you every month of the year, and then the totals for each one of these columns for every month of the year so that you can compare them. If you change this up here to this month and you change the totals by days, it will give you this current month or whatever month that you put in, and it gives you every day of the month and the totals for every single day of the month. So you can switch it around. And again, you can filter this out by location or business unit, attending or rendering provider, however you want to filter it. Another important report is the financial year comparison. So in this report, you can get there to basically the same way. You're going to go to Reports Management, Financial Analysis, and Year Comparison. So here you're going to select the year comparison. Same thing here. If you wanted to switch it see it for the year, you could put year up here and then put year to month. Or if you wanted to see it for the month, you could put month up here and then see it for the month. But what this report does is it shows you what you're doing this year compared to what you did last year and what the variances are. So you can see your charges for this year and the charges for last year and the variances here, and then the payments for this year and the payments for last year and what that variance is. So it helps you keep track of the financial health of your practice. The claims lag report is a really important report because it measures the distance of time between the date of service and the time that that claim gets created. If this lag day is very long, you know that your providers are not closing their encounters in a timely manner. So your claims are not dropping or being created in that timely manner. It also tracks the lag between the time that claim actually drops or the creation date to the time that that claim is sent out. So if is a big lag day there, you know that your billers are not sending them out in a timely manner. Also, to get to this report, you can go to Reports Tabular, search Claim Lag Report, and you can put in the date range that you're looking for, and then click Go. These reports can also be saved as a My Report, printed out, or put into an Excel spreadsheet. The KPI Appointment and Encounter Report. This is a really great report because you want to make sure that all your encounters or your visits are getting claims. You have claims for them. So if you don't have claims for them, you need to know why you don't have claims for them. So if I have my appointments here, then I can see how many were no-shows, how many were canceled, how many encounters are still open, all the closed encounters I should have claims for. And then you can also see if there were new patients that were seen or they're distinct patients. You can put in run it by month, weekly or monthly, and you can also put in the date range that you want and click Go. You can run this report by going to Reports, Management, Trends, and then selecting the Appointment and Encounter report. The next report is the Charge Payments and Adjustment report. It's also considered a KPI report, and you can run it weekly or monthly. You're going to select the charges, payments, and adjustment, put in the date range you want, and click Go. You can get there by going to Reports, Management, Trends, and then selecting the charges, payment, and adjustment report. And again, you can see over time what bill charges were, what the payments were, adjustments, write-offs, patient write-offs, and then employer write-offs. And you can see each month right here. So it's a great way to take a view of over time. Another report that you're really going to want to look at is your KPI alerts report. Now, this is a totally different kind of report. You get there the same way. You're going to go to Reports, Management, and Trends, and then you're just selecting the KPI report. You can put in the date range that you want and click Go. You can run it weekly or monthly. And then if you're running it by the year, the nice thing about this report is going to show you any duplicate claims and how much money is tied up in duplicate claims, how much money is tied up in unapplied EOBs, how many claims are unassigned after 30 days, or how many claims are still open in the aging or overdue, like assigned claims that are overdue. I'm clicking the button because it's a really long report. It also shows you your lag days, whether they're encounter lag days or billing lag days or posting lag days. It also gives you unbilled claims greater than 7 days, write-offs, and it also gives you mix match patient payments or negative payments. So this report is really valuable for seeing the health of your financial success. And then payer analysis reports or analyst reports. Analysis, I guess. One of the things about this report is the dynamic graphs and the dynamic matrices. You can get there by going to Reports Management Dynamic Graphs or Reports Management Dynamic Matrix. But one of the things about this report is it helps you to look at payers and appointments and claims in different angles. So you can, like here, I put in claims up here and I put insurance company in the count. So I can see how many each payer is in here and how many claims they're doing. But I could also change it in I could change my parameters, my X and my Y parameters, and I can get different views of this report. So I could say, maybe I want dollar amounts, or maybe I want how many claims of denials or anything like that. So I can switch these all around and get different views or different aspects of my payer analysis. So it's a great report to kind of look around and look at things from different angles. Our denials by insurance or by reason, denials by insurance by reason is a tabular report, and you can get there by going to Reports Tabular and then searching in the middle field, denials by insurance by reason. But one of the reasons why I added this report is I really like this report because it gives you each insurance company all the denial reasons that they have denied claims for, how many claims have that denial reason. So like here's 3 claims with the same denial reason. And then how much money is this costing us? So now we can go back and we can say, okay, we have a problem here with this procedure code or something, and we can go back and we can fix that procedure code on these claims. And by having this, you know which insurance companies, what they're denying for, and you can go ahead and see if it's a trend or just something that we need to work on internally. But it's a great report. So now we're going to move into section 2, understanding report customizations and filters. And we have a poll. So Cheyenne?
Yes, so for our first poll, we just want to get an understanding of what your comfort levels are with billing filters. A pop-up will show up shortly and all your answers will remain anonymous. Just give it a few more seconds to let people answer. Okay, and these were the results. So it seems like a good amount are comfortable or slightly comfortable. Luckily, Julie will cover more about billing filters. I'm going to pass it back to her now.
All right, thank you. So let's just talk a few minutes about some of the benefits that you can have by using billing filters. So billing filters can narrow down a specific focus or a search for the billers. So they can concentrate on date ranges or insurance carriers, providers, things like that. You can customize your billing filters to tailor to your practice needs. So you can customize a little bit. Efficiency. So billers can, being able to focus on a certain segment of the billing report, it's going to save them time and effort. So error identification. A lot of times when you're filtering out certain subsets, you can quickly identify any discrepancies or coding errors, missing information. Claim status tracking. So billers can filter out or monitor specific claims based on the submission date or carrier and parameters. Denial analysis. You can filter out different denial reasons. So you can get all the claims with the same type of denial and work those all together. A trend analysis. So when you compare billing reports over time, you can put in specific times and track different trends, identify different patterns or fluctuations or potential uses. And then compliance checks. Billers can filter out procedures that might be subject to certain rules or guidelines. And provider performance. So billers can also analyze, filter out by providers and see if certain providers may be having a little problems in certain areas, and they can track those problems and apply training and support where they're needed. And then financial planning. By using your billing filters, you can generate reports that can aid you in financial forecasting, budgeting, or resource allocation. So a billing filter, anytime you see this little icon here with the little funnel, this is where your billing filters are housed. And to understand your billing filters, I broke these up into sections. So the first section here is the assigned to filters. So any claim that you've assigned to one of your billers to work, you can pull that information in using your billing filters. So you can pull in information assigned to a particular person or with a certain status, assigned with a certain date range, or maybe things that are past due. You can pull that all up by using your billing filter. The next section is charges. So anything that is related to a specific charge or a charge category, a user category, you can pull that up. Also denial category. So you have a denial category in this section as well. So you can pull up all the denials or charge categories all at the same time. Now, while you're on your report and you're making certain filters, if you save them, you can always pull that same filter up later by using a save or save as, and then come up here and search for your filter. Let me go to the next section. The next section is a claim filter. So these are things that are on your claim, like place of service or rendering attending provider, location, date of service, things like that. So anything that's related to your claim you would find under the claim filter section. The next section is the insurance related filters. So these would be if you wanted to look up anything for a particular insurance company or primary insurance or anything like that. So this section here is all insurance related. This section is the outstanding responsibility. So maybe you want the outstanding responsibility with the primary insurance or secondary or patient. Maybe you want minimum balances over a certain amount, or maybe you want a certain date range. You can go ahead and pull up under this outstanding responsibility. And the bottom section is kind of got cut off, but it's patient related filter. So anything related to a specific patient, you can filter out that as well. Now, there are financial filters. So under like summary reports or financial analysis reports, the filter might look a little bit different. It might look like this, where you have your period again, and then you have claims, remittance, refund, and copay. I'm going to tell you right now, and this is super important, always run your reports the same way. So if you run it by primary send date, remit date, refund date, and last modified date, make sure that when you run in your summary report against your financial analysis report, that you set it up the same way. I prefer to use date of service, post date, post date, post date. But it doesn't matter how you run it, it's whatever works for you, but make sure that you run them the same on your summary report and your financial analysis report, because you'll get different totals if you run it differently. You can also filter these out by location, business unit, rendering or attending doctor, and insurance company. And then you can also group by. So if you wanted to group by clinic, or you wanted to group by location or attending provider, you can do that. And then you just click OK. And then when you run your report, it'll have the filters that you've set. Now, this is a financial analysis filter. This is the same filter as the one you just seen. It's just kind of laid out a little bit different. So you still have your date range. You still have your claims, refund, remittance, and copay. And this is what you want to make sure is the same as the other report. And then your location and business unit, attending provider. So it's really the same filter. It's just laid out a little bit different. Now you have your claim filters. The claim filters look a lot different when you're looking at them. If you look down, this list here is all your saved filters. So when you want to know what's on a particular saved filter, you can hit the arrow and you'll get this pop-up here that looks like, gives you all the details of what's on that saved filter. If you don't want it, you can delete it. You can save it as something else and then add other filters to it. To create a filter from new, you're going to hit this plus button up here, and then you'll get a screen that looks like this, where it's going to have these different categories: assigned task, charge fields, claim fields, insurance field, outstanding AR, and patient. So under each one of these categories, you'll have a drop-down category of filters that you can use. You can click the arrow and send it over here. And then once you've got all the different fields that you need in your search, you can save it as something and it will go onto your list of filters. Once you hit apply, then you can apply that filter and it will sort out that information for you. So another thing that we want to talk about is customizing your own reports. So you can customize your own reports in these areas: billing, collections, and financial analysis. To get to these reports, to be able to customize them, you're going to go to report. You're going to select the section, one of these sections, and then you're going to select the new layout. So up here, you're going to go to this area here and select new layout, and then hit the layout button. Once you've hit that layout button, you'll get a screen like this, and you can add the name of your layout and the name of your report. I usually name them the same thing. If you want a new header or footer, you can go ahead and add that information here. Using this plus button, you get to select all of the different fields that you want into your report. So under billing reports, I know there's at least 14 pages of filters or columns that you might want. Once you've selected all the columns that you want in your report, you can come in here and you can adjust the title. If you wanted to saying date of service from date, you can just say date of service. You can adjust these titles across the top here and make it say what you want them to be. And then you can put them in the order that you want. So you'd click on one of these fields and you use these arrows to move it forward or backward. And I want to tell you that these first two squares are special because you can get totals by those first two squares. So let me go back one thing. And you can see right here where it says totals by grand. Totals by grand is going to give me a grand total of the total billing report. So I have the total grand total here. But if I switch this to totals by column 1, it's going to give me a total for each one of these dates of service. So my column 1 would be 5/9, and it would give me a total for 5/9, and then the next one is 5/1, so it would give me a total for 5/1. And then at the very bottom, it's going to give me the grand total of all the report. If I totaled it by column 1 and column 2, then it's going to give me 5/9. And then all the providers that work during 5/9, it'll give me a total by each one of the individual providers, and then a grand total at the bottom. So I can actually split this up to make it individual totals by each one of these columns, and then a grand total at the bottom. So whichever you put in those first two fields here is going to get you able to get totals by those fields. So it makes it kind of special. The other thing that I wanted to mention is if there's a system report. So there are some reports that come with the system, and you can't change those reports. They'll be red and they'll say system report. So what if you wanted to add another field to that system report? You can save it as, and then give it a new name. So maybe I wanted this claims billed with adjustments. I could save it as claims billed with adjustments, and over here I'd have to rename it as well. I could add the adjustment column and then go ahead and save it, and then that report would be available for me again without me having to recreate the whole entire report and all the fields. So now we're going to go into section 3, analyzing billing reports and optimization. So we're going to talk about identifying leaks and areas of improvement. Oh, and we have an interesting fact. Cheyenne?
Yeah, so did you know that 25% of medical claims can face denial at their first submission? These denials stem from issues like coding mistakes, incomplete details, or expired insurance. What's more surprising is about 60% of these denials are left untouched, which equates to billions in lost revenue each year. By delving deep and scrutinizing these denied claims, there's an opportunity for practices to recover a significant chunk of this lost revenue. Back to you, Julie.
Okay, so we're talking about leaks now. So some ways that we can identify our leaks are through our claim denials and rejections reports. It gives us insight on the different types of rejections that we're getting, and it can help the biller to identify patterns and take corrective action. Another way is to identify the cause of the underpayments or write-offs. If we can see a pattern with a particular payer, and then we can take steps to get proper reimbursement for these. Using the payment reports to identify coding issues and correcting coding and being able to send clean claims. So identifying unbilled services helps us to prevent missed revenue opportunities. So running our unbilled service report. Timely filing, so identifying and prioritizing our claims that are getting close to our timely filing limits help us to ensure that we get them in before the time limit expires. Aging reports help us to identify balances so that billers can prioritize their follow-up and collections. Payer performance reports help us to identify variations in reimbursement rates among payers, and then also focus on our high-performing payers. Billing reports can show inefficiencies in the billing process, so the billers can work to streamline workflows and reduce delays, leading to faster reimbursement. Billing reports can also identify non-covered services, allowing billers to inform patients in advance and make those payment arrangements. And then analyzing revenue trends helps billers to identify fluctuations and anomalies. And these patterns can help in predicting future revenue cycles. Tracing KPIs and financial reports. So by analyzing billing and collection reports, billers can understand the revenue collections that are generated during a specific period, but they can also compare these against other previous periods and monitor the overall financial performance of the practice. By knowing their AR days, billers can identify and increase collection periods, address potential issues, and improve cash flow. Analyzing billing reports can help track denial rates over time, identify common denial reasons, and take corrective action. Clean claim rates help us to identify the claims that are submitted without errors and omissions. Billing reports can help you to calculate these clean claim rates. Billing reports can also identify distribution of payments received across different insurance companies, so billers can concentrate on the higher payers. The charge lag report is going to measure time between the date of service and the time the actual claim got submitted. So it will help billers to identify gaps in the process. And then collection reports. So billers can measure percentages of billed claims that are collected compared to the target and assess efficiency. So revenue per visit and revenue per procedure. By knowing this, you can identify trends in revenue to evaluate financial impact on various services. Tracking outstanding balances owed by patient can help us focus on collections for the patients and implement strategies to improve the collection rate from the patient. And then cost per collection ratio helps us to compare the expense of doing the collection activities compared to the actual revenue that we are generating. And then streamlining your workflows and reducing denials through data analysis. So denial reports can help us pinpoint common denial reasons, but also allow billers to address issues such as coding or missing documentation, lack of pre-authorizations. Then they can implement training and processes to improve these things. Monitoring denials over time helps the billers to identify patterns, and recognizing patterns, they can take proactive measures to address the issue. Through billing reports, billers can help identify coding patterns that could lead to denials or change to optimize their coding practices. Claims status report can provide real-time visibility into the status of the claim, enabling billers to track and process the claims through reimbursement processes and allowing them to follow up promptly on any delayed claims. Prioritizing high-risk claims can help the biller identify the claims that are most likely to be denied, and then focusing on those claims to make sure that they get processed and manage the potential impact of the claims on the revenue. Streamlining claim submission. So billing reports can help streamline claim submission by revealing patterns over time, identifying delays in the billing process, and also optimize workflows in a time to ensure timely submission. Billing reports can help to track appeals and resubmissions. They can also analyze billing data and highlight areas where the billing staff can benefit from additional training. They can benchmark performances. So when comparing revenue cycles on different providers, you can, within the organization, you can highlight insights or areas where they might need to be improved. And then reduce duplicate claims. By identifying duplicate claims, we can eliminate those duplicates before they actually become a denial or a compliance issue. So now we're going to move on to section 4, tips and best practices for effective utilization. Oh, we have a poll. Cheyenne?
Yeah, so this final poll is just to give us some insight for future webinars and give us an idea of what content you're looking from us regarding billing. So just answer, and if you have any further suggestions, there will be some room in the Q&A for you to submit anything that you might also like to see if it's not included on the list. Okay, I'll give it a few more seconds before I close it. So it seems like a fair amount want to see AR following and remittance posting, also some more claims processing. And again, if you have any other suggestions, feel free to submit it in the Q&A section so we have an idea.
Very good. We'll take those up for future reference, for future webinars. Regularly view and monitor your billing reports. So here's some tips. Establish a schedule. So for regularly viewing your reports, such as weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, consistency is the key for staying up to the latest financial data. Assign responsibility. So by having a designated team member analyzing your reports, this helps to ensure that they are going to be thoroughly examined and actions are going to be able to be taken promptly. Focus on key metrics. So identify relative key metrics for your practice and then concentrate on these metrics during the review to gain actionable insights. Compare periods. Always compare current data with historical period to identify any kind of trends or anomalies. And then you can track the progress and detect any significant changes. Address anomalies promptly. So if you notice any unexpected fluctuations in your reports, investigate them, understand what is the underlying condition, and then take appropriate action. So communicate insights with your revenue team, management team. Compare clear presentations. So create concise and visually appealing presentations to report to your insights effectively. Utilize graphs, reports, tables, anything like that to present the data in an understandable manner. Highlight key findings. So emphasize the most critical insights and trends that require attention. Clearly communicate those potential areas that need improvement. Engage in collaborative discussions. So encourage open discussions and brainstorming with your billing team in order to gain different perspectives and formulate actionable plans. Provide content. So when sharing insights, provide content by sharing the data's significance and relevance of the overall financial performance of the facility. And then seek feedback. Be open to receiving feedback from your team. Listen attentively and to any insights or concerns that they might have, and they may have valuable input to help refine the data. And then implement action plans based on findings. So set SMART goals or SMART objectives. So SMART being specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-based. And then these objectives can help you guide your action plans effectively. Prioritize action. So determine which insight requires immediate action and prioritize your actions accordingly. Focus on addressing high impact areas and achieve, high impact areas to first achieve quick wins. And then assign responsibility. So clearly assigning responsibility to an action plan to a team member creates accountability and assures the action plans will be carried out effectively. And then create actionable steps. So break down each action plan into individual steps with specific timelines, and this helps to facilitate a smooth and implementation and tracking process. Monitor your progress. So regularly monitoring the progress of the action plan helps you to stay on top of the changes and measure the impact that's been taken. Adapt and evolve. Be flexible and open to adapting action plans which have new insights or changing circumstances. Continually evaluate effectiveness of the action plan and be ready to define changes. Celebrate your success. So celebrating achievements and milestones when action plans yield positive results, recognizing team members for their efforts helps to create motivation, reinforces the culture of continuous improvement. By effectively utilizing your billing reports, regularly reviewing the insights, communicating them with your revenue team, implementing your action plans, optimizing your financial performances of your medical practice and facility, and overall revenue management. If you'd like to receive a free financial checkup, you can reach out to us and we can help set one up for you. So the contact information will be on the last page of this webinar. But now we're going to open it up to questions.
Yeah,
Cheyenne?
so if anyone has any questions, just submit it in the Q&A section. So we have a few people asking if they will be receiving a copy of the webinar slides as well as a recording.
Yes, everybody who attends today's webinar will get a copy of the slides and a copy of the recording.
And then our next question is about the report of charges, PMTs, and adjustments. Are the payments associated to DOS or is it payments for that month?
That could be up to you. You could run it both ways.
Perfect. And then a follow-up question for that is, they've been looking for a report to follow up on patients who have not received a statement. They tried AR filters but couldn't find.
Did you look in tabular reports? Because I know that there is a report for patients without statements. If it's not in your tabular reports, then call tech support and have them add it, because there is one that exists.
Okay, and then our next question is there a way to get the directions on going to the different reports, or is there a handout for this webinar?
On the bottom of the webinar, I put the track of how to get to the webinar. So if you go back to the previous screens where I was going over the reports, it'll show you to go to reports and then like billing and then what report to select. So the track for getting to each one of these reports is in this webinar. So we'll send it to you.
Awesome. And then the next question is, why do collection reports by voucher differ from by claim?
Okay, so the difference between the by voucher and by claim is if you do by claims, it's going to give you the total amount of that claim. If you do it by voucher, and it will break out. Oh, I'm sorry, you said by voucher. It should be the same. By voucher and by claim should be the same.
Okay, and then the next question is, can you break down patient outstanding into copay, deductible, and coinsurance? Not what is received, but what is due.
I'm trying to think if the by what's due in copay. I am not sure. That's something I'd have to look into to see if I can find a report that does that. If you leave your name in the chat, I will look and I will get back to you.
And then there's another question about, is there a report to compare all location sites together?
Yes. So if you run the report, you're getting, if you're doing, well, I should ask you if you have a multi-location or a hybrid location or a regular, it depends on the database that you have. But yeah, when you first run the report, it should include everything, and then you have to filter out the individual locations.
Okay, and then the next question is, in the disputed claims report, it identifies if insurance underpaid me. How does the system know if we were not paid correctly?
Okay, so when you're posting your remit, if you've entered, the clue here is to enter your allowed fee schedules. So let's say that you're working with Blue Cross and Blue Shield, you have a contract. When you take that allowed fee schedule and you enter it in as an allowed fee schedule in your fee schedule master, when you're posting your remit, it's going to say contracted amount and then the actual allowed amount. So if they did not allow the total contracted amount, then you mark the claim as disputed and it shows up on your disputed report.
Got it. And then the next question is, why are the reports in the system named different than the industry standard names?
I don't know if you want to be more specific as to which report. I can check into it for you.
They said waterfall.
Oh, there is a waterfall report. To get to that waterfall report, there's actually 3 different styles of waterfall reports. You can go to reports, management, statistics, and then go down to waterfall. There's 3 waterfall style reports in there, and they are called waterfall.
Got it. And then we have a question about sending text messages to phone numbers regarding patients' outstanding dues. Can that be done through prognosis?
I don't have any text messages going out currently from the billing side, just actually statements. So I would say no at this time.
Okay, and there is a few people that are mentioning that they didn't receive confirmation. We will still make sure whoever is registered or attended will receive the follow-up email. So don't worry about that. We'll make sure we get that out to you. I'm gonna cut that off for now. That's about all the time that we have.
Let me show
If you
this
have,
last page right here
yeah,
so they can see the details of, oops, contact details.
But if you have any other questions, reach out to sales at Bizmatics if you're new to prognosis. And if you're an existing customer, just reach out to our customer support team and we'll try to answer all your questions. Thank you for attending our webinar. We hope you found it valuable, and just a friendly reminder to take a look at our free ebook in the handout section as well.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day.